Starmine.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Starmine podcast. I'm David.
Hello, I'm Nick.
And I'm John Sherman, Air1355.
And this is episode 4 of the Starmine podcast. We made it.
We made
it, guys.
We did it.
I thought we died.
We did for a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
We were all busy for the past 2 weeks, so here we are 2 weeks later. And you don't pay anything for this, so deal with it. Alright?
It was Memorial Day weekend.
Wait, we don't pay for this?
Well, they don't.
Not yet.
Not yet, anyways. But probably never. We're not good enough for that.
Don't tell their secrets.
Alright, anyways, what did you guys do for the past 2 weeks? Gasp.
Well, I guess I'll start off. I mostly was this week. The week before was just more Hearthstone, and you guys are so thrilled to hear about that.
Of course.
Making a
Always,
jerking off
yeah.
motion. It doesn't play in the podcast, but I'm making a jerking off motion. Just want you all to know that. Anyways, keep going, John.
I did get Watch Dogs, the game that finally came out. It is a lot more like GTA. Like, I didn't pay any attention to anything about the game outside of the E3 trailers, so I really didn't know anything about the game. It's pretty much an open world game like GTA. I only got about 3 or so story missions in, but I've played about 4 hours of it so far. It's very nice looking, but it doesn't really stand out as a explosion of graphical detail.
PS4?
Yes, I got the PS4 version, which apparently is the best one right now. I've heard the PC version, I don't know if it's fixed by now, but was effectively dying.
Yeah, I heard a lot of bad things about that as well.
I saw some screenshots of 360 and PS3 versions, and they look.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could definitely tell the difference in the next gen versions compared to them.
That's good.
Just in a lot of the lighting and textures. But game. Go on.
You gotta wonder how viable it is downgrading to 8-year-old technology.
Yeah, I wonder what this game would have been if they didn't have to kind of limit themselves to making it play on the old gen games.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking forward to the next Batman game, because it's strictly Xbox One, PS4, PC.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a lot of what they did for the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions were just stripped shit out until it worked.
Based on comparison shots I've seen, that is pretty much what it was. I saw a picture of where they're on a hill. They show the PC version; it has the most amount of stuff. PS4, Xbox version, very similar to it, and then they show 360 version, which has nothing. It's just an empty hill. So trees are a lot less detailed, but I don't know. That's just a graphical part. They really nailed compression artifacting in cutscenes, to the point where you feel like you're watching a corrupted GIF file.
Nice.
It's actually kind of difficult to look at.
In the PS4 version, or
it's like a stylized thing. He's remembering a incident, like a car crash, and it's just all terrible looking. But
it's compressed and all pixelated and crappy looking, intentionally.
Yeah,
okay.
And you'll see parts of it stay the same colors, but you can see it moving a little bit, like you would imagine something that didn't compress well to look like. I also found out that hacking is as easy as looking at a camera and holding down a button.
Oh yeah.
Yes, definitely.
It's press square to hack, which is as complex as the hacking has gone so far. Your cell phone has you press X, you bring out your cell phone, and then you look like a douchebag walking around with a cell phone while but you can whenever you point your camera at anyone, it just pops up some detail on them. I've started getting to the point where I can see similar things again. One that I noticed recently was like frequent online searches, rape. Like it gives you like one little detail about each person you walk by. Like I mean, mostly embarrassing.
To be fair, that's completely out of context. I mean, maybe the guy works at like a rape shelter, you know?
Yeah, they tell you what they work at too.
Oh,
It tells you their occupation, how much they make, and like one little tidbit about them.
So basically, there are people that there's no moral. I'm guessing there's not much moral ambiguity where it's like this guy makes a lot of money, but he also donates a lot to charity. You know, it's mostly just this guy makes a lot of money and is a scumbag. Is that...
He's a vigilante.
Yeah.
I
mean like the whenever you're looking at the information for people, because I remember seeing one that was like business whatever guy, you know, pro-life picketer or something like that. So it's like, oh, of course you're gonna, you know, it's like there didn't seem to be much moral ambiguity. It was just kind of like these people are assholes, these people are good. You can it's probably okay to steal from these people, but not the others. So.
Anytime, because every so often you'll run across someone who has like a blue tinted square icon. I'm sure it would look like an X on a 360 game, or Xbox One. But you hold it down and you either get like a song track you unlock a car, or you get money that you then redeem at an ATM later.
Yeah, that's. I guess we'll kind of do an impromptu thing about Watch Dogs right now, since we're already talking about it. I was reading the Giant Bomb review of it, which wasn't super favorable with it. I mean, it was Gersman. He was saying some okay things about it, but he said one of the things that really fell short was the hacking and the like limited, like the way you unlocked things, like the limited track list, like all that stuff.
Yeah, it seems like I unlocked a lot of the music already. And I just walked around and kind of just hacked everyone. Because that was really what I did at first. I actually missed like what I was supposed to do after I got back to the home base for the first time. So I just walked around for an hour like, what am I supposed... It says, find someone who looks suspicious and they're going to do a crime. And I'm like, everyone is just talking. You can intercept conversations. You'll read text messages or you'll hear audio conversations. One real awkward one is where a guy's talking about having sex with someone and he has to really pee. And he's talking about how he... Anyways, I'm going to ignore that conversation. You'll run into some people where they're talking about like, yeah, I had to leave that job. It all went tits up. And I had to go stash the money somewhere. And then you go steal their money.
Vigilante justice!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I will walk by someone and then they'll pickpocket someone or steal some lady's purse. And the easiest way to stop them is just to shoot them. So that happens and I just pull out a gun, shoot them. I get like a plus for like, you stop the criminal, and then a negative for unwarranted violence.
How dare
so it's a wash.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't steal a purse in front of me. I will shoot you down dead.
I mean, so you don't get to even like be a vigilante. You don't get to be like the Punisher or Batman. You just like have to be Batman.
Well, you can. Like a lot of times, the crimes are like the person just pulls out a gun and shoots the other guy, and at that point, shooting him is A-okay. You get full credit for that.
But that's what I mean. Like, you can't just go full Punisher on the game. That's what you should be able to do. It'd be awesome.
Maybe someone should make a Punisher game.
They have.
Based on what I've heard, I haven't gone too far into this myself, but apparently if you get like real popular and you're not doing anything against citizens and kind of running them over or anything like that, you'll get the benefit of the doubt. Like, you'll pull out a gun and there's less likely to have someone call the cops on you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you are a bad guy, you're not going to get that. But either way, you gain reputation. It's all reputation based.
How's the multiplayer work? Have you tried the multiplayer?
I was in the middle of starting that, and then I closed out of the game yesterday. So I haven't played around too much with it. I don't know if I'll like it, But it seems like, at least what I played, like a little tutorial section of it, is that you get put into someone else's game or someone else comes into your game, and then you try to hack each other. And I guess the first person to either get 100% or shoot the other one dead wins.
Then what do you get?
I guess you get, like, E-reputation. Which I don't know what that does yet, if there's any benefit to it. I don't see myself playing into it too much.
Alright.
But,
yeah.
Yeah, the game starts off pretty good. It looks really nice. There's a cool blackout scene when you're in a baseball game. This is like in the first 5 minutes, so it's not a spoiler, but it looks really good. Combat, I'm not really a big fan of. GTA-style combat.
I heard there's like no melee combat though. It's all just like press X to kill.
Yeah, when you're close to someone, you can. I think it's circle, and you just not decapitate. You incapacitate them.
Close enough,
with like
yeah.
a nightstick.
Yeah, like a police baton.
Yeah. Or you just shoot them.
So another thing I wanted to bring up: which version of the game did you get of the 17?
Oh, I got the PS4 version.
No, I mean like which pack did you get? Which pre-order pack? You know, did you get the limited edition, the July edition? You know,
I was like,
no, I got the basic, regular $60 version. In fact, I got a pre-order like bonus from Amazon that I never.
Oh, you got the Signature Shot Pack.
Oh, is that what it is?
You get the Signature Shot single-player mission, an investigation bonus, an ATM hack boost, a black Viceroy outfit, oh yeah, and a biometric assault rifle, which I guess takes people's fingerprints when you shoot them with it, I guess?
Oh, yeah. I load up the email. It is the Signature Shot Pack.
Told you. I'm reading the article right now, so
I should redeem that. I also
should you though?
I can't talk about it too much because it's NDA, but I did get into the PlayStation Now beta. Which I guess I kind of just wanted to say I'm in an NDA, but no.
You finally have a reason to say that in a public forum.
Oh yeah, but
most of the time it's just you talk. You're like, well, there's some shit going on with Game Facts, but it's, you know, I can't talk about it. Wink, wink. You know, it's like, great, John. That's awesome.
Yeah, and you don't care about Game Facts, so it does nothing for you.
But, I don't.
But yeah, it works. I'll just say it works a hell of a lot better than I thought it would. But the game selection that I get for free is shit.
Is that the PlayStation Plus kind of thing, or what is it? I don't even know what it is.
It seems like it's going to be subscription-based. I don't know if it's per game or overall the whole service.
I tried getting into the beta, and I never got a code.
They sent me a code to my one personal email, but that isn't the email that my PlayStation Network account is associated with. So there's a forum that I can get into to talk about that I can only get into by using the email or the account associated with that email address, but there is no account associated with that email address.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, that didn't stop me from downloading it, but yeah, I'm excited for that. I imagine we're going to hear more about that at E3.
Yeah.
Cool. Did you do anything else other than Watch Dogs?
I played MLB a bit. I have a Road to the Show character, which is where you play as one character from the minor leagues up into the major leagues. Yeah,
I remember that from watching playing that one time. Yeah. Or weren't you like an outfielder or something like that?
Yeah, I'm still playing like that. I got called up once to, I think, AAA, and then my character had his calf go out.
Nice.
So I missed the All-Star game and the rest of the season, and my team missed the playoffs by 2 games, which is exactly when I would have been back from my injury. So
next season it is.
Yay, baseball!
Yep.
Anything else?
Well, I bought a Wii U today.
How is it?
Is it still downloading?
No, it finished right before we started finished recording here.
You mean begin recording?
Yeah, yeah, we do. We begin before we finish, I guess.
Usually, yes. So this is killing you right now, just staring at it?
No, it's actually hidden behind my monitor right now, but...
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at the box. Not a whim, I've been planning it for a while, but I realized that the Mario Kart bundle kind of came with enough stuff that it was worth kind of buying it now rather than waiting later and buying the same stuff all at the more expensive price.
Man, Mario Kart sold a lot of Wii U's. I wonder why Mario Kart specifically got everyone all hyped up to get one.
Like, I'm okay with Mario Kart. I don't really care too much about it, but it's a game I know I'll like.
I mean, it's Mario Kart. You know, it's kind of been one of their flagship games for a while. I mean, I know back in the day, you know, you go over to someone's house, you'd either play Super Smash on the 64 or you'd play Mario Kart. You know, because most of the time, if you guys played Mario Party more than once, you weren't friends anymore, so...
Mm-hmm. That is one thing that Nintendo has over the competition, is that it still has that social aspect, like you go over your friend's house rather than go online and play your games like everyone else does now.
Yeah. So you told me you have Mario Kart 8 and the digital version of Wind Waker, right?
Yes, there's like a promotion where if you buy Mario Kart 8 before, I think, the end of July, you get to download one of 4 games, and the only one I really care about is Wind Waker HD.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
What are the other ones, do you know?
The other ones aren't bad games, it's just I don't really have a whole lot of interest in them.
What are they?
The new Super Mario Brothers game. What was it? Pikmin 3.
Yeah.
And the one that I don't think anyone really cares about is Nintendo Land.
Oh, yeah.
Which I can buy used right now for like $15.
Pikmin's always one of those games that I've always wanted to play, but just never enough to actually buy it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it enough, but I haven't really cared about it. I saw like a few videos of people playing it, and I learned more about that than I ever knew about Pikmin in my life. But I imagine I'd probably have fun with it, but I don't know.
Yeah, as I said, it looks like a game that I'd want to play, but it just never caught me enough that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. You know, and I think it's what GameCube was number 2 on the Wii.
I think they were both on GameCube, but
okay.
They both got re-released on the Wii.
Oh, okay. All right, is that all then? Oh, are you gonna get Wonderful 101?
I think I will.
Do it for platinum.
Do it for platinum.
Okay, I'll get it.
Hey man, we gotta keep them afloat somehow. Well, they're doing
Seriously.
quite well on their own. They got Bayo 2 coming out, and then they got that secret fancy Xbox title coming out soon as well.
Is that going to be announced at E3, you think?
Maybe, I don't know.
I hope so.
So that's it for John's rambling. Nick, what did you do?
Oh man, all sorts of stuff. I've been replaying a bunch of different games. Most specifically, I reinstalled a really old classic favorite of mine, and that's the entire Dark Forces series. So that's Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight, Mysteries of the Sith, Jedi Knight 2, and Jedi Academy. And I've just been going back and forth playing all sorts of different parts from those ones and just having a nostalgic trip over that. Dave, you told me that you found a copy of Dark Forces.
I did.
For PlayStation?
I'll go into it more, but later. But I was in a used book, movie, game, all that stuff store, and found one for like, what'd I say, $6?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, I love those games because I was obsessed with Star Wars as a kid, and that was like the best trip ever to just be a Jedi and play as Mara Jade and see all the like cool expanded universe stuff in like real time rather than just read about it.
John, by the way, John still has not seen any of the Star Wars movies.
Okay, I'm just gonna ignore that and move on.
Sorry, keep going.
Why do you hate me?
No, I don't hate you. I love you. Other than that, my friend came over and he wanted to play GTA, so I picked up GTA 5 for like the first time in months, and actually had a lot of fun doing that because it's actually a good game. Now that I think about it, probably my favorite Grand Theft Auto.
I need to play that game, but I've been holding out on hope that there's a PS4 version.
Yeah, that would be really nice because the frame rate just kills it sometimes, especially on the PS3 version. It's still a blast to play, and it still looks gorgeous. It's just, it would be really nice if it was in 1080p and 60 frames per second. And I restarted the Mass Effect trilogy again for probably the I don't know time.
Are you going to do FemShep this time?
No. Not Fem. No, I've done a FemShep before. That's the thing.
Are you going Paragon or Renegade?
Kind of just not caring this time around. I'm gonna do random. I don't know. Like, just I don't feel like being this kind of dude. I don't feel like being nice. I don't feel like being mean. You know, I'm gonna like kind of play in the middle, maybe. See what happens.
That's what I know. The Walking Dead Telltale game, you can be completely silent through like most of the game whenever for like all the big decisions. So I wish you could do that for Mass Effect. That'd be really funny. Just be a silent protagonist.
Oh, that'd be cool. Maybe for the next one. I still haven't played The Walking Dead. I need to do that.
Yeah, I own that, and I think I own Part 2, Season 2, whatever it's called.
I do too. I've yet to play any of them.
I played the Jurassic Park one with my girlfriend because she loves dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, and that one was really fun.
There's a Jurassic Park?
Yeah. They have a Back to the Future one. They have a Jurassic Park one.
Okay, yeah. Those
I play that Jurassic Park game too.
Now, granted, I'm not great at exact timing, but that game is hard.
Yeah,
right? I was failing things when I was supposed to be cutting back like foliage with a machete. Like, I was failing things, and it was just like, no, you're terrible at this.
Yeah, that game. I liked the story they had. I mean, it wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the worst. It was good.
It was a cool little add-on to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the gameplay was frustrating as all get out. Especially like the ones where like you can just die. You know, if you screw up once, or if you screw up like 500 times, you'll also die. It's the most like there's pivotal points, and then like the other ones that like they don't matter, but then later you'll die anyways. Like it's the most confusing thing in the world.
Yeah, one part of that game I liked is where you're choosing both sides of the argument.
What was that between the mercenary and the military dude?
No, it was with the like one lady, I think, like scientist lady, and the main character.
The dude,
I forget his name.
Yeah, the zoologist guy.
Yeah, and they're with the daughter walking by.
Yeah,
near them. You're just picking. I don't know if it was a glitch or something, but I'm picking both sides of the argument.
No, that's I did that too.
That was the weirdest shit.
That was a fun little story though. Mm-hmm. It was a little cliche, but it was a fun little add-on to the whole story.
I need to play the Back to the Future one they have.
Yeah, I own that one as well. Anyways, Nick, back to what you were doing.
Yeah, just play Mass Effect like always. I feel like I always remember every time I start Mass Effect 1 that how tedious the side quests actually are.
Yeah. Yeah,
I always forget. I'm like, oh, I love Mass Effect 1. I love the story. And then I do the side quests. I'm like, oh my god, there's so many of them. And I don't feel like doing all of them because they're all the same.
Yeah, like, I know I've been thinking about, like, restarting Mass Effect to do the Renegade side just to see how it goes. And, like, I don't want to do all the mining shit. You know, I don't want to find all the deposits. I don't want to, like, dick around on everything. Maybe grab a walkthrough and do it, but like I don't really want to take that time to do it. But I it helps you out so much in the second one just to get that initial boost. But
yeah, Renegade's really fun. My one Shepherd was a angry black man named Samuel L. Shepherd. that was one of the more fun playthroughs of mine, I think.
I have an intention to replay that. I played it as like the default
white
good
dude.
guy Shepherd,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thinking of replaying it as a female.
Oh man, that Jennifer Hale voice acting is just fantastic.
Yeah.
So much better than Mark Mears.
Hey, Mark Mears is fine.
So much better than Mark Mears.
He is fine. All right.
Yeah. It's like well, you could have this Coca-Cola, or you could have this $500 wine for free. It's
okay. He improves drastically.
Coke is still pretty good.
It is. It's still pretty good.
Mark Mears improves drastically, especially at Mass Effect 2. Once Mass Effect 2 happens, I think he's a great voice actor, alright?
Well, yeah, but, Jennifer Hale is already a great voice actress.
Well, yeah.
And she's a great voice actress through the entire thing.
That's because she's had experience. Mark Mears was just kind of starting up, doing his own thing, and now he's a well-known voice actor.
Yes, but he's still terrible in Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I'm
saying.
sure Jennifer Hale has a terrible performance somewhere.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. But she's great now. That's all that matters. Maybe she was
just always great. She was just always great, probably. Who knows?
Yeah, probably. She was Naomi.
Naomi.
Did
you do anything else, Nick?
Pretty much that. Just replaying a bunch of different games. So many that have, all I can remember is pretty much Jedi Knight and Grand Theft Auto and Mass Effect.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I, on the other hand, one of the reasons we skipped a week, well, my reason for skipping that week at least, was I ended up going to Nashville for a trade show for work, but also I got to hang out with my brother, and as I said, we went to that humongous, it's like a warehouse-sized, book, movie, music, video game paraphernalia stuff, everything you can imagine media-wise is in that place, and it's all relatively cheap. I bought that game, the Dark Forces.
Yeah.
I bought. What else did I buy? I bought some 50-cent Sega Master System game, and some $6 Sega Master System game that was Double Dragon, I believe.
Nice.
I think it was Double Dragon. It's in the
Nice.
other room. But yeah, we went to a Grindhouse theater. We saw a really bad movie from the 70s called Stanley.
Stanley.
Yeah, it's about it's kind of a remake of a movie called Willard's about a guy who keeps rats. That then he goes on a killing spree using the rats, and Stanley is about a guy who keeps snakes, and then he goes on a killing spree using his snakes.
Wow. That's a well thought out plan.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's before one of the movies that really did, if you ever see at the end of a movie, no animals were harmed in the making of this film.
Yeah.
The movie Cannibal Holocaust actually was one of the contributing factors to them starting to have what I think is the ASPCA or something involved with movies to make sure they don't abuse them. And this movie came before that, and they claim a lot of the snakes were already dead when they were using them, but someone bites the head off of a snake, someone, rifle butts 3 baby snakes, and
What?
yes, he takes a gun and just crushes baby snakes. The guy kind of goes crazy at the end, and he's wailing around a snake, and someone shotguns a cobra or a rattlesnake, and it explodes.
The snake explodes.
The snake's head explodes because he shot it with a shotgun. It was the little bit of this is funny and ridiculous, but are those real snakes that they're killing? Is that really what's going on right now?
More than likely.
It was very strange. It was a really fun experience, though. I'd been there before. We watched the movie Chucky with the guy who played the kid in the original Child's Play. He was like 25. It was weird, and that was a few years ago. But so we watched Child's Play there. But this time, it was more of like a relaxed atmosphere. That one, it was just, everyone was watching the movie, laughing along. This one, everyone was making comments. It was kind of an MST3K sort of thing. And of course, there was that one dude that was just trying too hard.
Of course.
Yeah.
It was you.
No, actually, it was not. It was not me this time.
Oh, okay.
But we also went to see Godzilla, which was,
How was it?
pretty fantastic.
Awesome.
If you're looking for an intelligent movie, look somewhere else. If you're looking for a well-acted movie, Bryan Cranston is not in this movie as much as he should be, so look elsewhere. He's fantastic in it, but the guy who plays Kick-Ass is his son, and he's more the main character, and he's really boring. But the monster fights, awesome, fantastic.
Great.
I couldn't tell whether the movie was taking itself so seriously that it was embarrassing, or like they realized what was going on and they were just being ridiculous on purpose. Like at some point, the obvious arc of the movie is that there's, monsters Godzilla has to fight. And at some point, Godzilla is going to be, beaten a little bit. And at that point, there's, soft, sad music playing in the background. And I started laughing in the middle of the theater because it was so ridiculous that they were, treating it like it was a war movie and, one of the main characters was being shot or something like that. It was Godzilla being beaten up by two monsters. I was like, what is going on here? It was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen. But it was real fun. It was a good theater experience. I will probably buy it when it comes out just because it was so ridiculous. Monster designs were very, very Cloverfield monster-y. Godzilla looked really, really cool. I heard they used like bears and some other large animals as a reference to make Godzilla, and you could tell he definitely looks different than the T-Rex Roland Emmerich Godzilla.
Yeah.
Which was clearly just trying to be, Jurassic Park. But yeah, it was a really good movie. As I said, the acting was a little bit, except for Bryan Cranston, the acting was a little bit eh. There was fun little mentions here and there. You saw a thing that said Mothra, and it was just a fun little thing. I enjoyed it. It was well worth the price of entry.
That's good.
Yep. But other than that, I 100%ed all the achievements in Journey.
Whoa, I still need to play that.
I beat it 2 more times. I got my girlfriend to play it. She loved it. I got the white coat thingy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I did it all. John.
Did you do it all for the Nookie?
I did not. We're not going to reference...
Wow!
If you ever reference Limp Bizkit again, I'm going to punch you. I'm going to drive the hour and a half to get to you, knock on your door, and then just punch you square in the face.
Does he have to open the door first?
Nope, I'm going to punch it through. The last knock is going to be when he gets there, and it's just going to go straight through into his face.
All right.
So now you made me forget what else I played. I almost burned my house down. Apartment building. Trying to connect up a steering wheel for my arcade machine. That was less than successful. Started smoking, and I was like, "Oh boy,
how
good. This isn't
does
good."
That start smoking?
Bad
wiring.
Wasn't designed for what I thought it was. Apparently, I'm kind of flying blind here a little bit, so things like that will happen a little bit,
Yeah, you might burn out a building or two. It's all
fine.
part of the experience, right?
Yeah,
it's all part of the plan.
Yep. And I also because I mentioned it in my review of The House on Skull Mountain, I did actually end up watching the MST3K version of The Horror of Spider Island, and it was only good because it was MST3K.
Yeah.
It was a pretty terrible movie. It was like a German, like bordering on softcore, scantily clad women on a deserted island, and there's a monster around. It was bad. What did you guys think of my terrible review?
I liked it. It wasn't terrible.
Wasn't terrible?
It wasn't terrible.
I got like 9 views.
Awesome.
I watched it while also having a conversation with you, so I didn't get to focus on it as much as probably need to.
Cool. All right.
You need to viralize that shit.
That's true. We did get that email for a bunch of new views, but I told him to go the hell away.
You need to put that video on Dig.
You gotta dig that shit.
Yep.
Dig it.
And everyone will be like, "What's this stupid guy doing stupid things for?" And I'll just cry.
Does Dig still exist?
I think it does actually. I think I got asked about it the other day.
Wow. Why?
Asked to dig something the other day, and I was like, "What is going on here?" Yeah, and I'm just checking right now, and we still have no emails.
2003? What's going on?
So we still have no emails. So if you people out there listening want to ask us questions or comment or tell us we're dumb,
please ask us questions.
You can email us at starminepodcast@gmail.com. It's all one word, starminepodcast@gmail.com. That's my little plug. Hope you liked it.
Or shout at our Twitter.
Yeah, we got Twitters.
Just pull up Twitter and then yell at the screen.
Just yell at the screen. Just shout at it.
Shout Starmine Podcast, and then it'll come up.
They're all listed in our About stuff, so yeah. But I guess we'll move on to some news. We're a little bit behind on news, obviously, but a few I wanted to mention.
Some shit's happened.
HR Giger died of injuries from a fall, which is very sad because that guy was awesome. He made some weird and gross shit, but he was awesome.
How old was he?
74. And
yeah.
I was showing you some of his pictures last night, John. What would you say about the man?
Vagina.
Vaginas and
what?
odd rape fantasies, but in a good way?
I don't
know if I want to say that.
I don't know if it's a good way, but it's artistic.
Very artistic. And I mean, it got him to work on Alien and Darkseid, I guess.
Did he really work on Darkseid, or did just Darkseid rip his
I don't
art?
know. I don't know. I actually don't know the history of that. They may have just licensed his artwork.
He didn't get paid enough.
Probably not. But Mike Dawson was. Mike Dawson's the man. So, except that he's not. He's not the man. Anyways, Nick, have you seen Retsupre's Darkseid 1 and 2?
Nope.
I will say this right now. Do not go see it. Talk to Bemis about that. He will probably also tell you to not go see it. But if you want to, Retsupre talked over a long play of Darkseid 1 and Darkseid 2. Darkseid 1 is a lot more tolerable
Wait a minute.
than Darkseid 2.
Wait a minute. I think I have seen it, and I just repressed it.
8 hours of your life.
Okay, no, I haven't.
Okay,
oh,
yeah.
It is a great 8 hours. You really should watch it.
Don't lie to him, John. It is completely and totally not worth it. There is one payoff in that entire thing. I mean, Slow Beef and Diabetes are hilarious through the entire thing, of course, because that's what they do. But the game it's excruciating. Like, even listening to their commentary, I was falling asleep at times. But anyways, we're talking about Giger, not Retsupre. We're not jerking off Retsupre. We're jerking off Giger.
He would like it.
Wow.
Maybe.
He would. Yeah.
I don't know.
But, he was kind of a crazy dude. He apparently would have night terrors, and he'd just have like a sketchbook next to his bed, and he'd wake up after his night terrors and just like draw what he saw. And that makes me wonder about the guy's sanity in the long run. But, he survived till he was 74, so whatever.
It's terrifying. The one thing that I hope I never experience is a night terror.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Especially if it makes you draw shit like that. I mean, unless it made you draw shit like that. Like, your drawing ability just like suddenly went up and like you were able to draw like that. That'd be cool, I guess. But
You wake up and he drew.
you're like, oh god.
What did I draw? What is that?
So I
Penis.
guess rest in strange peace, H.R. Giger.
Yes.
Moving on. This is old news, but I still wanted to comment on it. The new bundle of Xbox that is $100 cheaper and does not include the Kinect. Who saw that one coming a mile away?
Pretty much everyone.
Yep.
I think the shocker is how quickly that happened.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, looking at sales figures and like being beaten horribly by the PS4, I'm not that surprised.
I guess, when you look at sales, but, I mean, I think everyone expected at one point it not to be sold with it. But I don't think it, April or June is when it's going to come out. The first day of E3 is when they're actually going to start selling them. That's pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they also launched their Games for Gold, following in the footsteps of stealing off Sony. They've started, giving free games to people who have a gold subscription.
They have been doing that for a few months, but they changed how it's working.
Yeah, and they also started that you can use things that don't have to do with Microsoft's servers while not having a gold account. So
Yay.
that's nice. So you can use your Netflix, GoPro, I guess, the Red Bull TV, HBO Go, the NFL app, MLB TV, NBA Game Time, so on and so forth, NHL Game Center. And you don't have to have a gold anymore. And I mean,
What about Internet Explorer?
I think they did include Internet Explorer actually.
The internet browser behind the paywall.
Oh my god.
That's just
Yeah.
that's where it goes with it. But that's thinking without really thinking, I guess. I don't know. Enough about Xbox though. Let's move on to another Arma 2 mod.
Wait, what?
Something I'm only mentioning this because it's something I thought would be kind of funny in the long run. Arma 2 just came out with a World War I mod. And I don't know many people that have a World War I game because of, all of the bolt action rifles and, just kind of going back and forth in the trenches. I don't know how well that would work.
Yeah, that sounds pretty interesting, actually. I mean, I don't know if it'll be good. It sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Arma
Well, I mean-
is an interesting game.
Yeah, it was just I saw it and I was like, oh, that's actually kind of interesting. I would think the air combat would be kind of fun, but I don't know how fun. It's a lot of dogfighting, I guess.
Probably a lot of people trying to go out and then they just die right away the moment they get out of the trench. Like
I know
actual
I
World
used
War
to,
One.
I used to play with my buddy Andrew. We used to play this game called Battlefield Europe or Battleground Europe, and that was a realistic World War II simulator, and that game was about a lot like that. That you would just like walk out and just immediately die, yeah, and you had to actually be good at the game and like not just dick around, or you would just die and then not be able to spawn for like 20 minutes. It was pretty awful. But I guess next on the list, Reading Rainbow is going to come back.
Oh yeah, Kickstarter.
They kickstarted and they hit 1 million on day one and 2 million on day two.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing.
Which is insane and awesome. There's a video out there of LeVar Burton being brought to tears. It's in the article I'll link in the description, but it's pretty awesome. That'd be like Bill Nye coming to the internet and be like, "Hey, I want to make more Bill Nye the Science Guy. You know, it's the
He
same
should
sort of
do
thing.
that.
I'd back that.
He should do that.
He should do that for
He
real.
should make like an adult version of that, and it would be great, like more complex sciencey stuff.
Yeah, like
Okay.
in the vein
Yeah.
of Cosmos. Yes.
Exactly.
He should
Cosmos is
do
a
it.
great show.
Yes, it
him
is.
and him and Neil deGrasse Tyson just on the same show.
Oh,
Science would explode.
They should do that.
They should. Let's pitch it to them.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm sure they've never heard that before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably not. And speaking of Kickstarters, this is a little bit of the opposite. That one, blew past its funding, its funding goal in like a day, and just sneaking past it near the finish line, Amplitude made it.
Woo! I'm glad to hear that.
Did they have to lay off people though?
It sounds like that was something that was going to happen regardless. The reason why the Amplitude Kickstarter was shorter than normal Kickstarters was because that day is when like shit happened there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They needed to know.
Yeah, I heard that's what they needed to know, like at that point, because it was only like 18 days, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a short one.
Yeah. Well, the guy that started whatchamacallit, some game company, I forget what, the guy who backed like the $75 $100 or so. I forget how he funded a lot of money to it. I forget who it was. Do you know, John?
George Washington.
I know that there's one game company that did. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but I do know that Skullgirls also, like, I guess one of the people who behind the music of Skullgirls.
Oh, okay.
They put like the 7.5 grand to get a song in it.
Oh, cool.
So they're gonna have, I guess, a Skullgirls song in it. I know nothing about that game, but
It's a fighting game.
okay.
But yeah. All right. Do you guys have any other Kickstarters, since we're talking about Kickstarters, that you want to plug?
No. Nope. Anything Kickstarter related that I was backing finished.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am too. Well, going on from there, from Kickstarter to From Software, did you hear, Nick, who became the director, or president, of From Software?
Yeah, the guy who directed Dark Souls and Demon Souls.
Yeah. I'm going to butcher his name, so I'm just not even going to try. But yeah, that's kind of exciting.
I just know how to pronounce his last name. Miyazaki.
Miyazaki. Yeah, we'll just say Miyazaki then. That's really cool. It's kind of nice when someone does a good thing and gets recognized for it. So
What about Project Beast?
that was next on my list. Sorry, I was in the middle of getting some water. Footage appears online via NeoGAF. How about that? Or was it? No, it was. Sorry, it was on 4chan.
I was on NeoGAF when that happened, and I was like, "What the?" And I was like freaking out when I saw it because oh my god, it looks so good. It looks so good. It's like Dark Souls plus Van Helsing plus the Dark Tower. Oh, that's what it looks like. There's shotguns.
Is that the game that is it? Sony exclusive?
That's what the rumor is that it's a PS4 exclusive. It's in co-development between From Software and Sony Studios, and Miyazaki is directing it.
Okay.
So it's pretty much the real spiritual successor to Dark Souls, if that's what it is.
Yeah, because was he involved in Dark Souls 2?
No. He was
Okay.
like overseeing. He was like a supervisor, so he was like a consultant. He wasn't really involved in the actual development. In fact, like a lot of different people from From Software worked on Dark Souls 2 that didn't work on Dark Souls 1. Like, I'm not sure if the directors that worked on Dark Souls 2 had anything to do with the first one.
Maybe talent from that first one went to this game.
Yeah. That's what it looks like. It looks really good.
It's interesting that guy has a name behind himself now.
Yeah, he's like he's really putting himself out there and making a name for himself. He's like going to be up there with like Kojima and Kamina.
Well, I mean, I would say that he pretty much is up there with Kojima at this point. Kojima, Kojima isn't actually the president of Konami, but he's pretty much the president. He can do whatever the hell he wants, and his company isn't going to bat an eye.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to bat an eye later, and they're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, I hope he knows what he's doing."
Why is there a bomb in there?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh boy. Speaking of Kojima, he said the new Metal Gear Solid 5 trailer may be tough to watch at E3.
It's also going to be the last thing to play like at a conference at E3, according to IGN's schedule. That is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There is some not great news that went along with this quote, though. He said he warned fans about expecting Metal Gear Solid 5 too soon, voicing his fears that the game may be too big to finish.
He always talks like that.
He always
does.
He said the same thing about 4.
Yeah, I guess so.
They have 2 teams
work. Mess.
Yeah, they have like 2 teams working on it. I would hope that it would be finished.
Yep. Well, apparently, it's going to be 200 times bigger than Ground Zeroes.
Well, I mean, so many people were so upset about Ground Zero's length, and I'm tired of hearing about it. So
I think they mean physically, like the size of the area is 200 times.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Well, I mean, you think about it. That base was large, but you put it in a big open world like he's been saying he's going to do, and that's not, that's a reasonable amount of space for you.
He also said it's going to cross different continents and time periods, so anything can happen.
I'm still holding out for, making Outer Heaven or Zanzibar Land or something and fighting Solid Snake.
That'd be cool.
That'd be great. Or the opposite, you play as Solid Snake and you fight Big Boss.
I do hope somehow that, Snake is in it, or Solid Snake, and David Hayter just comes out.
Kept you waiting, huh?
That would be the best use of that ever.
Yep.
The kept you waiting.
Just that'd be so great. Like you're just dropped in a mission and you think it's Big Boss, and then like it's clearly like you're paying more attention. It's actually Solid Snake.
He does the reverse switcheroo. Everyone thought you're playing as Snake in Metal Gear Solid 2.
It's actually Raiden, but this time you think you're going to be playing Big Boss, but
you're playing Snake. That'd be funny in a terrible way.
That's the game that's the game remake we've all been waiting for. Except for me, I've been waiting for Snatcher to be remade in 3D, but that's a different story. But yeah, they're going to remake Solid Snake 1 Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake in 3D for this game. That'd be awesome.
Mhm.
I'd buy that game. Of course, I'd buy it anyways. But,
yeah. Yep, I'm in there with the Metal Gear series too. I'll buy it regardless.
Really, John?
Yep.
As I stare at the same exact Gray Fox avatar on the Skype call that you've been using, I think, literally for about 10 years now.
Yeah, I set that when I first got onto the MetalGearSolid.org forums. And someone made that for me. I don't know who the hell that was, but they've made a mistake.
That was a long time ago.
They're dead now.
That could be. It's been 10 years. A lot can happen in 10 years.
Just got dark in here.
Still a little. Anyways, on to the next thing. Nick, this is what you were talking to me about earlier. They got the director and writer for the spin-off movie for Star Wars.
What's it gonna be? We don't know.
They haven't released what it's going to be yet, but actually Gareth Edwards, the guy who directed Godzilla, is the guy who's going to direct. Mm-hmm. And the guy who's going to write it is Gary Whitta. They mentioned that he was known for penning the Book of Eli, but I also know he did a few chapters of The Walking Dead by Telltale.
Yep.
and a few other movies too, but I don't know.
He was also
Nice.
the editor-in-chief of PC Gamer at one point.
Really? That's interesting.
Well, then I definitely don't want him involved.
Well, I think
Suck it, PC Gamer.
I think he wrote episode 3 of the Walking Dead game, which is the best one, in my opinion.
Which one is that?
That's the one where just gonna have spoilers. If
Spoiler alert.
Just tell me where they are.
It's where they're in the train,
Oh, okay.
where they get the train.
I need
Yep.
to play that.
Yep.
I'm nearly positive that's the one he did.
I just brought up the Wikipedia.
Oh, he wrote.
He contributed to Duke Nukem Forever, Gears of War.
Wait, Duke Nukem Forever.
He wrote the 4th episode. I'm sorry.
You idiot. He did TV episodes, I guess, for Voyager, Star Trek Voyager, and Futurama. Did Book of Eli. He also did After Earth, unfortunately.
I'm just going to take a wild shot in the dark and say that this spin-off movie is Boba Fett.
Well, I mean, who else but Boba Fett is worth putting in?
Yeah. Well, Han
I mean,
Solo.
Well, but they don't have a Han Solo anymore. No offense to Harrison Ford. He's gotten a little old, you know?
And he has his role in Episode 7, and his story is pretty much, like, well covered enough.
And I mean, like, you think about the other side characters. R2-D2 movie would be a kids movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a C-3PO movie would be annoying. You know,
Oh dear.
a Chewbacca movie would be interesting, but the main character wouldn't be able to speak English. You know, like there's
it's
all the
it's
choices.
It's going to be Boba Fett.
All the choices of the side characters, unless you have like a Jabba the Hutt movie. But once again, he doesn't speak English. That'd be
Or
the
Yoda.
dumbest movie ever.
What if you make
It's
a new
either
character?
Boba Fett or Yoda.
I think it'd be cool if they did like a Old Republic movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think people really want... I think they really want to get the, like, main stuff out of the way first, and then they'll start doing stuff like Old Republic and different eras that we haven't covered in film. I would really love a Knights of the Old Republic movie, though. Oh my god. That would be great.
That would be interesting. You were watching that Clone Wars show, weren't you, Nick?
Yeah, I kind of quit for a bit.
Was it that bad, or
No.
give
I just
up?
kind of fell out of it.
Okay.
It's actually pretty good. It's pretty decent.
I know that they're coming out with that other show, Rebels, or Rebel, or something like that. Do you know they're coming out with a live action one as well, aren't they?
That was the plan like a decade ago. I don't think that's on the cards anymore to have a live action one.
Really?
They might still do one for all we know, though. You never know. It could be Comic-Con this year, and they'll be like, "We're doing a live action Star Wars show." I don't know. Anything could happen.
Yeah, because the Rebels one, I was kind of excited about it because it kind of looked a little interesting. I wasn't super pumped. There's going to be a Jedi in it, which I feel like it's just
weird.
Yeah, it's just
You're just like throwing in a Jedi just because you can.
But I mean, they also threw in a Mandalorian just because they could, you know, and that's just so she looks like Boba Fett's.
Not all Mandalorians look like Boba Fett.
I know, actually, no. I mean, if you look at the episode 3, none of the Mandalorians look like Boba Fett's because he's not Mandalorian.
Yeah,
which is stupid.
I really like the design of the Mandalorians in Knights of the Republic. They look like freaking space samurai or something. I don't know. They're such a cool design.
But yeah, apparently Rebels, as I said, Rebels looks kind of interesting. The only thing that kind of makes me a little about it is it's going to be on the Disney Channel. So,
yeah.
So that's not super great. But yeah, I guess like you were saying, the live action one's been in production since 2005.
Allegedly.
But apparently supposedly casting is underway for an unspecified live action Star Wars project. So, who knows? Maybe it'll still happen.
Mm-hmm. They might just, you know what? The Old Republic would be a really good era for a TV series.
See, I was saying earlier, I don't know how long ago, and even if it was on the podcast or not, but like a Firefly, with a bunch of smugglers.
Yeah.
That would be, that is what Firefly is. Firefly in the Star Wars universe, they run into a Jedi every once in a while or something like that. They run into some cast and characters, but other than that, it's just Firefly.
Maybe they're trying to get Joss Whedon to produce it or direct
it. Nah, Joss Whedon's too busy with it.
I know. It's like, damn, we could have got Joss Whedon for that.
But it'll be made by Fox, and it'll get canceled after half a season.
Yeah.
John has nothing to talk about. Sorry, John. Do you have any news, John?
No.
No? How about you, Nick?
No.
No? Do I have to do everything for you guys?
I was going to talk about Amplitude, but you already mentioned it.
Yeah, and I was going to talk about Project Beast, but I kind of interrupted you, but
that was the point. So you guys had a chance. That's how we do this here on the Starmine podcast. I set it up, you knock them down.
I'm sorry we let you down, David.
Yeah, yes you did.
Sorry, I'm going to come
and I guess at this point we'll just go straight into the discussion topic that I came up with from a text message to John. And that is what is the worst and best, and what is your favorite and least favorite vehicle in a video game? And the reason I came up with this is because my least favorite is the Tuk Tuk from Stuntman, because that thing would flip over on the widest of turns. The widest of turns, you lose grip and just flip, and just scene over, just done. Couldn't do anything about it, and I just wanted to
30-second loading time.
Yeah, exactly. You had to wait 30 seconds, the director would yell at you, and you're like, why don't we do this in separate cuts? This isn't how you do it in real movies. What is going on here? And it was just, that's where it came to a head for me for a while, that I just went insane for a little bit, and I ended up beating it. I still haven't gotten past the Indiana Jones one, but, Dakota Scott, that's what it is. Dakota Scott, but, yeah, the fuck Tuk Tuks. End of story. Someone else go. I'm just going to be sitting in the corner here.
I would have to say my least favorite vehicle is actually the helicopter in Battlefield 4. I just can't handle it. I can't do it. I don't know why. I can drive helicopters in other games. Why can't I do it in Battlefield 4? I don't know why. Is it just me? Am I stupid? Or can I...
I think it was supposed to be kind of like a balancing thing. Like, at least for a little while, you couldn't just grab a helicopter and just mow everyone down, expertly. Because that was, if you remember, that's what they were. Wait, are we talking about 4?
Yeah, I'm talking about 4.
Oh, okay. Well, in 3, at least, I know they were talking about, like, the kill perks are you. You fly the jet, you fly the helicopter. Trying to beat out Call of Duty, but
yeah.
Maybe that's still kind of where it is, that they just kept the same controls after that. But I don't know. It does suck though. I don't like them.
Yeah, I just crash immediately. That's why I hate it. I mean, other than that, I don't know. Probably. I can't say the Mako because it's like a love-hate with the Mako in Mass Effect. I love it because it can snipe, but I hate it because it handles like a fat man.
I have never had an issue with the Mako.
Really?
I don't get the hate. I mean, I kind of like just being able to plop at any planet and just kind of drive around.
Well, I mean, here's the thing about the Mako. They gave it, like, awkward sort of tank controls, but it's a tank.
Yeah.
Like, the only problem I think people had with it, and I know I had a problem here or there with it, was, like, the auto-turning it did. like if you face the other direction, like sometimes it kind of go loose cannon and decided it was going to go slightly more to the right, and then you'd end up in a pool of lava and explode, and then you had to game over and start over again, and you were just like,
I had that happen once. That exact scenario.
See?
Oh, I'm remembering that scene. Yeah, you know what? It is love-hate.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
I have an interesting favorite, and it's a real car from Gran Turismo 2 and 3. The Suzuki Escudo.
Oh my god, yeah! I love that thing. I know exactly what you're talking about. I love the shit out of that vehicle, man.
My favorite thing was using a Game Shark code that let you max out like the horsepower, and I think that thing had a different like horsepower number that you can use, and if you went fast enough, you eventually just lifted the car up off the ground.
Oh my god!
because of the amount of downforce it had or whatnot.
It was like a plane.
Yeah.
Plane.
I do just want to mark it that for the first time, I'm pretty sure, Nick, you and John have had something in common.
I know.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
That's a first. That's a first.
It's a
for
first.
Starmine podcast. We got
Four
it.
episodes. 4 episodes. We're doing great.
We're gonna edit some applause in here. No, not really.
No. I don't feel like it, so no.
I can't think of anything I really hate off the top of my head, even though you told me about this subject a day or so ago.
Yeah, way to go.
I was thinking about it.
No, basically any car in Stuntman. It's just have you played Stuntman,
Yes,
Nick?
I have.
That is the most frustrating game in the goddamn world.
It really is. I got through I got to the 8th level and just fuck it, done. I'm out.
That is, and it's just so goddamn addicting that you just can't stop playing it.
Yeah.
Like you're just like, yeah, I was so close, I can do it next time, and it's that false hope. It's that false hope that it just gives you, and then just tears away from you.
It really does.
In 5-minute intervals.
I hate driving any motorcycle in an open world game.
Oh yeah, because it's just like, oh, I crashed into something. Looks like I'm going to be flying 50 feet that way and dying instantly.
I think it was GTA 4 that we decided one time. I don't even remember who I was playing with, but we were going to do tricks off of a bridge, and that was pretty fun actually. And we were just doing backflips off the bridge, which, if you've ever tried to do, is actually quite hard. And we were doing front flips and back flips, and so I can't hate on those too much. And yeah, I do get the fact though that like, do you really have to fly off every time? You know, like every time. Does it have to happen? Are they trying to make some sort of statement about,
do not drive motorcycles?
You're going to die if you drive this.
Now, granted, it's semi-realistic, but come on.
Come on. I think I was thinking about this. I was mulling over it. I think my absolute favorite vehicle in any game, though, is the Ghost from Halo. I'm serious. It's my favorite vehicle.
Which one's that?
That the flying one?
No, it's the one that kind of hovers on the ground. It's purple.
Oh yeah. It can charge.
Yeah, and you can charge and just go right into people. That was my favorite vehicle. I got so many kills with that thing.
Yeah, I would have to say I don't know if this technically counts because it's not really a vehicle, I guess. But Jehudi from Zone of the Enders 2, not 1, 2. It has to be number 2. Number 1 was still good, but my favorite one is in number 2.
Can mechs count as a vehicle? I guess. At least they could.
I just, it's just that I love that game so very much, and the ridiculous fast-paced mech combat is just my jam. So I just, I played that nonstop and just felt really good. Like, I feel like that's how people who are really good at Bayonetta feel. Like, they can just do everything and dodge all the attacks. Like, being able to beat those bosses no problem was just awesome. It was just made you feel awesome. Side note to any mech I made that was actually good in any of the Armored Cores. But I guess I just kind of love mechs in general. But Armored Core, I liked it because it just had, Armored Core has always been really good because the mechs have some, obviously they have weight, but, they have, you feel like you're in a lumbering kind of giant robot, because you are, and like there's something very aesthetically pleasing about that to me. How about worst handling vehicle in a game?
We already said every vehicle on Stuntman.
See, that's the thing. Like, they didn't even handle that bad. They were just super duper touchy.
Yeah.
You touched it and you were like, I'm across the road now, and then you spun out and crashed. And whenever you got into a rhythm, they were actually very easy to handle. But like, you had to get in that rhythm first, and then you ended up pulling your eyes out instead.
It felt like it'd be easier to actually drive the car yourself, like to actually do the stunt on your own in a car.
Yep. I hate to say this, but I went back and played Twisted Metal Black kind of recently, and that game controls very weirdly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's some weird... Like, it's a weird control feel to it. It's not a weird control scheme by any means, but, like, I don't know, it just feels like... It feels like a third-person shooter where you have, where you skid to a stop instead of walking around.
Yeah. Oh, I got one. The frickin' skateboard and Spyro Year of the Dragon. Fuck that thing.
Whoa.
Seriously.
I don't even remember that.
You don't?
No,
that was the
played
hardest
Year of
little
the
mini game ever. Because of that frickin' skateboard. It handled like crap. I still love it, though. I still love those parts. It's just like very frustrating every time you fall off.
I have to look that up now.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think since I kind of
God.
Since I kind of told myself I was wrong by saying any mechs. I'm trying to think of what my favorite vehicle in a game is.
Oh, did you not say what yours was?
Well, I said Jehudi.
Oh yeah.
But I mean that doesn't really count, I guess, because it's not. It's an orbital frame. It's not a vehicle. I don't really know. I posed the question. I never came up with an answer. It's kind of stupid of me.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
We fly by the seat of our pants.
We do a bit.
There's
I'm looking. Sorry, go ahead.
There's always a TIE Fighter Battlefront.
No, practical, yes. Do I have fun flying it? Yes, but not really my favorite.
Yeah.
I mostly just do bombing runs, so I never really did much of the dogfighting, because most of it is just find a target, get behind them, launch missiles.
Yeah.
Find a target, get behind them, launch missiles, and then shoot at them a little in between that.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually just get blown out of the sky in one hit for no reason.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm terrible at this.
I guess it counts as, but like, Sweet Tooth and Twisted Metal is one of my favorite vehicles. That ice cream truck.
Yeah, that's aesthetically just so great.
Yeah.
Of course, Sweet Tooth is definitely one of my favorite characters of all time. Until he became like a odd hairy man in the newer ones. That's kind of weird. I don't know what David Jaffe was thinking with that, but I did almost win the Sweet Tooth mask one day, and that was so heartbreaking that it didn't happen.
Did you guys play Half-Life 2?
Yes.
I haven't played the episodes yet.
Okay,
I played Half-Life 2.
Okay,
I
so
haven't played all of it, but
so the boat, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That thing, I just remembered about that now. That I really love that vehicle too.
Yeah, that was fun.
Because it was fun, yeah. Like, it was exhilarating just to be like, whoa, this isn't like I'm just running around shotgunning people anymore.
Same sort of thing. Resident Evil 4's boat. That boss fight was kind of interesting. It was very, very like arcadey, I guess you could say. But it was a cool little boss fight. If you guys know what I'm talking about.
I think I know it. Yeah, I remember.
The giant lizard monster.
Yeah.
I guess the pedal taxi from Crazy Taxi. That's my favorite.
Wow, yeah.
Just gonna go there.
Yeah.
That one was just so... It was... The animation was just so frantic, and it was just, it was just Crazy Taxi, so it was
crazy
insane. But, like, just the speed of the pedaling was just the most ridiculous thing ever. It was great. I love that thing.
I missed that game. I need to play it.
Like,
Crazy Taxi.
I remember being in arcades and having to explain to people how to do, like, the reverse forward boost.
Oh,
And
yeah.
everyone's like, what? You can do that? I'm like, yeah, how have you played this game and not done that?
By giving them $1 and then losing in 40 seconds?
Yeah, apparently. Of course, I only lost after, like, 2 minutes, but, whatever.
I had that game on PS2. It was great.
I still have that game on PS2. And technically could get that on the Naomi, probably.
You should.
Since I'm pretty sure Jambo Safari runs on exactly the same engine, or at least button setup. They all look very... Well, Sega probably had just like an engine that they just used for everything. I guess let's expand to any modes of transportation that were used well, because that took up like 10 minutes. I mean, there's always the classic, the opening to Half-Life.
Yeah.
The tram ride.
That tram
Like
ride is...
the first time there was immersive storytelling where you were just like there and things were happening in game. Well, the first big time at least.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was like the first real thing to be like, what? This is like a completely different way of storytelling. There's voice acting, there's interactive elements, there's animations with the voice acting and interactive elements. Like, that whole package. I can't think of any game before Half-Life that did that.
There was probably one or two, but they were probably, left in the dust, so screw them.
I have a favorite aircraft from the Ace Combat series.
Not the Jane's Addiction Strike Fighter?
No. It's the X-02 Wyvern.
Wyvern, I think is how you pronounce it.
Something like that, yeah.
Laverne and Shirley.
It's an entirely fictional plane that has a crazy kind of laser firing.
You're not going to say the
weapon.
plane from Hawks? The one that could turn on a dime and
That's
not
any of them in Hawks.
totally crush the pilot? That game was fun, but it was clearly like, let's make a first-person shooter that looks like it's a flight sim.
Ooh,
It was fun, though. I mean, I had a good time with Hawks.
Have you guys ever played Descent?
I have not.
Which one's that?
It's like almost from the Doom era. I don't know exactly what year, but I first played it on like one of those DOS demo discs or whatever. It's this really interesting flight game where you have like complete control over your vehicle and it's in space. And it's like Doom, but you have 360 degrees to control. That's what it feels like, at least. Really interesting old game. I don't know. I think there's like 3 of them.
See, I played an old vector graphic one called Line Wars that was something like that. You had to like do the pitch roll and all that.
Yeah, like Descent has that stuff. Like you can pitch roll and barrel roll and do all sorts of crazy stuff. It was so fun.
Of course, this game looked like it was from. It looked like the game that a bit like the game that the last Starfighter wanted to be. Well, I guess it was more the opposite. That game wanted to be the last Starfighter. It was terrible, though.
Yeah.
Either that or I wasn't good at it. Probably a mix of both.
I know I wasn't good at Descent. I still had fun with it, though.
Yeah. How does... I don't actually know, because I've never actually gotten that far in Metal Gear Solid 4. How does Metal Gear Rex handle?
Pretty good for something that's just, like, off the bat. You're like, oh, crap, I'm controlling this now. Pretty quick crash course, but it's not really weird. It doesn't feel weird to handle or anything. At least I felt that way.
John, do you have an opinion?
It's been so long since I played it, but I remember it feeling too fluid. Like, it was obviously made to move faster than it really would.
Well, John, he emulated the old system on his laptop or whatever.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Remember there was some bullshit computer lingo that he threw around. And he's like, this should boost the speed. And you're like, all right, whatever.
Sure,
That's great.
Otacon.
Otacon
little
can do whatever
robot.
with a computer. You crazy little robot.
The Mark II.
The Mark II.
I love the Mark II. I'm so glad that that's in there.
Well, I guess since I said my favorite one I controlled, what's your guys' favorite mech?
I haven't played many mech games, so I don't really have an opinion.
Well, I hate you then.
And now I
I'm
hate
in-
myself.
in the same kind of boat. I'm trying to think. Well, doesn't really count, but the only mech I can really think of are Front Mission 3.
Those are mechs.
Yeah, there's no real specific one out of them.
No. What was your favorite class in Front Mission 3? Or class of weapon, I guess.
I had to go with a combination of... I did like having, like, double machine guns.
I was like double shotguns.
Yeah, that was also good. I would always have the main character do a shotgun and fist weapon.
Bone Buster.
Yeah.
Those
Bust
games
some bones.
Those games were like so weird. Did you ever play the like third person mech combat game? The Front Mission Evolution, I believe it was called.
No. Don't you have that?
I do. I remember seeing it at Comic-Con the one year I went and thinking, "Oh God, what are you guys doing? Don't try to step on Armored Core's toes. That's a bad call." But I didn't know it was a one-off at the time, and it ended up being kind of fun. I got into it way too late, and the online mode was like impossible to compete against anyone. But the game itself was pretty fun. You had to kind of lame it out for a few of the fights because the controls were kind of weird, but it was an okay game.
The only mech game I've played, though, that I can think of is Mech Warrior 2. That's the only one. And I was so young when I played it, so...
So you're not going to say like the Fatless or the Catapult or something like that?
Yeah, I can't even remember the names of them.
You can't remember the names of them?
No.
I've
I
never
was that
played
young.
a mech combat game or Mech Warrior game, and I still know the Atlas. And that thing is legendary.
Yeah, I know.
I remember seeing the footage of that scrapped Mech Warrior first-person robot mech combat game, and like the Atlas comes out of the dust, and I jumped. I went, "Holy shit, that's awesome!" And then it just destroys the guy. It's great.
All I remember is having a crap load of fun, and then I lost the disc, and I was very sad.
Yeah, John lost my second disc to Armored Core Masters of Arena. That's right, I'm still bitter.
I have no idea what happened to that.
You don't, and that is the worst part.
How dare you?
At least Heroes of Might and Magic 2 or whatever it was went down because of a drug dealer.
Yeah.
That is a true story that we're not going to get into because
Oh my goodness.
of John's reaction.
Yeah, moving
Just know-
on.
Moving
Moving
on.
on.
Sorry, John. They get a little too real for you all of a sudden.
I just, there's context there that I think is better just not having anyone know.
John Sherman does not do drugs. You heard it here.
Or
He
deal.
does not. Does not deal. He does not partake.
Not even
Nick, on the other
not
hand,
even aspirin.
I'm not sure, but,
I manufacture aspirin.
manufacture aspirin. It's a natural side effect of John living. He just crumbles off of him, and he puts it into a little thing and, makes aspirin.
It's all natural aspirin.
That's where Tylenol comes from, kids. Comes from John.
Tylenol's not aspirin.
Shut up.
It is now.
It is now. That's where Tylenol and aspirin comes from. It comes from John.
One is more refined.
One is more refined. Or something. I don't know what the difference is.
You guys don't know pharmaceuticals. I just have a feeling.
Well, clearly Nick is the one that does drugs here. See, my favorite robot, since my favorite robot to control is Jehudi, but my favorite robot is either in a game is whatchamacallit, Nine Ball from Armored Core Masters of Arena. So much so that I have a action figure of him. Well, it's a model kit, but it's pretty much an action figure because it's pretty easy to put together. Nine Ball. Do you remember Nine Ball, John?
Barely.
He kills that dude in the first mission of Masters of Arena.
I barely remember that.
And apparently he killed your character's family.
Ooh, okay.
He's just awesome. He just goes around fucking shit up. And you're like, yeah! Yeah!
Nine Ball.
I don't care that you're the bad guy. You're cooler than me. Ugh. So we got nothing else, do we?
Can't really think of anything.
No.
Vehicles was a terrible choice. I apologize.
Whatever. It happens.
What about what's the best racing game you ever played, John?
Oh, there's so many different categories to that.
Best realistic racing game.
I would have to say that the one that I spent the most amount of time with is Gran Turismo 4.
Was that the one that came out with the demo, but called it like prequel or something like that?
No, that was 5.
Yeah, that was 5. I'm talking about the one on the PS2, the second one. I don't know, it's just something about it. I was able to just do time trials in such a way that I could not do in any other one since. I'm weird.
Yes, you are.
I really loved the Test Drive series on the original PlayStation. That was a personal favorite of mine.
I played one of them. I don't know which number or if it had a number, but it started off with a music video of that Cars song.
Yeah, that's the one I had.
Yeah, that was a fantastic game.
Yeah, it was. I loved the tracks were really good in the car. Like, it didn't really matter what car you used in that game. And that's what I liked about it, because it wasn't, like, specific, you had to get this car to win the race or whatever. It was more just like, you can win the race if you're just good at the races.
Yeah. But what was up with having a music video as the opening?
I always just skipped it, so it doesn't matter.
I watched it once and I'm like, this is just a music video. It's just a music video.
Yeah, that's all it was.
And then it just title screen.
Boop.
And then, of course, there's Burnout. That's like the
Gotta
only
love Burnout.
That's the only more modern racing game I ever played.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Burnout Paradise.
Do you know what game we used to play, John, all the time? Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
Oh yeah,
How many times did we stay up till 2 a.m. playing that game?
a lot.
You were always better at it than I was.
I'm sorry.
You son of a bitch. Are any of the new Need for Hot Pursuits any good?
No, I don't. I mean, there's people who like them, but I have bought the because they're all done now by what, Criterion? The people who made Burnout, all the Need for Speed games, and I have not been a huge fan of any of them, of the Need for Speed guys making the Burnout guys buying.
Use your words.
Yes, the Need for Speed games being made by the Burnout guys. EA kind of removed them from Burnout because Need for Speed was the bigger name brand.
So that's why there hasn't been a new Burnout game recently?
Yeah, because they can't get to the extreme, crashes that with, licensed cars. They can only go so far.
Yeah.
I would love to see them do another Burnout Paradise where they can just, next gen, go full-on crazy.
And have the world, super huge this time. I love the open world aspect of Burnout Paradise.
They need fast travel, though, because that was always the problem.
Yeah.
You'd be, a mile and a half away and have to drive it real time.
That is the first and only game that I have a platinum on PlayStation. I guess you can count Zero Escape, but that is just beat the game and get everything. It's a visual novel, so getting a platinum in that isn't hard. But Yeah, the Burnout game. I spent a hell of a lot of time in Burnout Paradise.
Cool. All right. Well, we're over an hour and a half at this point, so that's fine with me.
Fine with me.
Since we've run out of things to talk about already. Do you guys have anything you wanna plug or recommend to us and the viewers, listeners?
I will hopefully have an opinion on how owning a Wii U is in the next week.
Are you going to buy Wonderful 101 in the next week?
I don't know if in the next week. I still have to play Watch Dogs. And I need to beat Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed 4.
Still haven't beaten Assassin's Creed 4?
No. I put a little bit of time into that, but mostly Watch Dogs, Hearthstone. But anyways, I want to play the Wii U.
Play your Wii U.
My screen has said right now the console or the update is complete. The console will now restart, and it's been at that OK screen this entire time.
It's just beckoning you. It's beckoning to you, John. Play me. Let me restart so you can play me.
Starmine Podcast is sponsored by Nintendo.
It is not.
If they want to, though, I mean,
if they want to, I love Nintendo and
don't sue
their
us.
money. So, what about you, Nick? Do you have anything?
I love Lamp.
I'll
How
take that as a
original?
no.
No, just kidding. I don't really have anything. Nope.
How does one love a lamp?
With all your heart, John.
Yes.
With all your heart. I would recommend both Godzilla and The House on Skull Mountain.
Watch the review.
Watch the review if you care. It's okay.
Oh. If anyone hasn't watched Cosmos, you should find a way to watch
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Watch it.
Okay, I guess I should find a way to watch it then.
Yeah, you should really watch
It's
it.
really good. I still have like 2 episodes left on my DVR to watch, but I've been going through them pretty quickly.
I'm all caught up, and I just can't wait for Sunday.
I've got a week or two of travel coming up, so I will have some extra time if I'm not partying on Beale Street with some of my coworkers, because I'll be in Memphis. Hooray! But yeah, watch those 2 movies. I just bought Gattaca at that used book place and movies and games and all that stuff on Blu-ray.
I just rewatched that on Netflix.
Watch that if you haven't, because that is a fantastic movie. And then, yeah, if you still haven't played Journey, play Journey, because once again, 100% of that, and I'm better than you at it. No, not really. Probably it's a fairly simple game.
He takes it to esports competitions.
I go to Evo and I'm like, who wants to play Fanavision and Journey? And everyone's like, what the hell is Fanavision?
Get out of here.
Get out of here with that crap. And I just go home and cry because no one will ever play Fanavision with me.
And
John.
Well, I played it a few times, probably more than anyone else you played with.
Well, yeah, it's because you were the one who owned it for the longest time. And then you got all pissy because I was better than you.
Dave, make sure you play Dark Forces. Let me know how the PS version is.
I probably won't anytime soon. But I'll let you know whenever I figure it out.
Okay.
And John, you should watch Star Wars.
Yeah.
Please watch Star Wars. Jeez.
I might be able to get you that file later sometime. And if I can, you should watch that one. But otherwise, just watch it. Just watch it.
Just
All right.
find yourself somewhere and it'll be on, and just watch it.
I'll just go knock next door. I want to watch Star Wars.
They'll probably be like, come on in, let's watch Star Wars.
You haven't watched Star Wars before? Get in here. Alright, I guess that wraps up episode 4. You guys can email us at starminepodcast@gmail.com. Please do, so we have extra stuff to talk about and we don't have to ramble for 10 minutes. I guess thanks for listening. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.